Today I'm going to share my thoughts on the Netflix series WWE Unreal. And I will not be putting spoilers, so if you haven't seen the series yet, it's okay, you can watch this video. Now, people were really on the fence with this show because people were concerned that WWE was going to reveal too much about what they do in the business, especially in the writer's room. But after watching all 5 episodes, this is my honest opinion. I feel like this was a really cool way to see what's going on behind the scenes without actually revealing that secret formula that WWE has to actually making crazy content, productions, and matches. A lot of us, even big-time wrestling fans, don't get to see this behind the scenes look. Because wrestling fans, we already know that they talk behind the scenes, that they're choreographing matches, that they're trying to make it perfect, they're trying to do camera spots and things like that. But it's nice to actually see how it's done, especially this year for 2025, which has been a crazy year for the wrestling business. But if you're a non-wrestling fan, I would highly recommend checking it out because a lot of people that are non-wrestling fans just think, oh, they just go to the ring and fight and then they just leave and go home. There is a lot that goes into it from behind the scenes, whether it's from the wrestler's perspective, production, Triple H who runs the creative of it. There are a lot of working parts and there are a lot of people involved. And that's what you'll get to understand if you watch this series. Plus, I think it has the potential to make non-wrestling fans interested in what goes on in the WWE and want to watch the storylines every week. But if there's one thing that this series gave me, it's much more respect for what these WWE superstars go through. Because sure, we know what happens with the rumors online. We know what happens in their storylines and potentially what goes on in their personal lives as much as they post. But just understanding what they have to go through mentally, physically, the conversations they have to make with people, and just understanding the business and just being a part of it, I give my big respect to them. These are real human beings with real human emotion. I've said this many times before. Every time I go to meet and greets, the first thing I tell them once I'm leaving is that I thank them for everything that they do in the business. Because I personally would never be able to become a wrestler, a WWE superstar of that level, because there is so much pressure behind it. And just mentally, it takes a toll on you week after week after week. And do I think this show ruins kayfabe at all? We live in an age of the internet. There's going to be rumors, there's going to be spoilers. This is just how it is. WWE Unreal gives you that insight into what happens behind the scenes without actually spoiling anything. Because they give you enough that you're intrigued to want to watch the product, but they don't give you the whole blueprint. But I say definitely go watch it if you haven't already. It is definitely a really good series, and as a wrestling fan, it makes me even more proud to be a wrestling fan. Because the wrestling business is crazy. Also, unrelated, I know Triple H slept like a baby after WrestleMania weekend. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button for more wrestling content.